I believe that every one of us who is different, every one of us who is unique, every one of us who have a dream that is beyond ourselves deserve to pursue it. No matter what occurs in the world, no matter what the people around us tell us to do, we must back ourselves. We must feel confident in our own abilities because we deserve this. We deserve to live a life of fulfillment. We deserve to live a life of happiness, and it must all be on our terms. All too many times we see our loved ones conform to society's views of what's expected of them. This is no more. This is our opportunity to do what's right for us. This is the best time in our lives to run away from the crowds, to break out of the comfort zone that is constricting our development. This is the time to fight for what we believe in. This movement was created from the belief that we as young aspiring individuals are willing and able to move in our own direction, to find our own voice and to pursue our own dreams. Welcome to the Behind Your Motive podcast. Motives, I hope you got pumped up with that introduction. This is a totally new series for you. This is the systematic approach which you can apply to your life every single day to get you closer to your dreams. This is going to be a full in-depth type of program just through the podcast, which you can follow along every single day. Every single day we'll be uploading a new episode, which gets you closer to thinking like a boss, pursuing your dreams and finding what's right for you. We're also going to be helping you to surround yourself with the like-minded people that you deserve, to find yourself mentors, coaches from around the world. This is a full, in-depth, ultimate guide to conquering your young adulthood and to get you to the next stage of your life. Let's get started. The first week, it's going to be broken up into weeks now, and the first week is being comfortable with being uncomfortable. This is really the first stage of your pursuit towards your dreams, because this is the stage where you enable your mindset to be able to sustain this type of lifestyle that you want to live. It's not just going to come. You just can't learn a skill set like that and be able to apply it in the way that other people are as well, that are successful, right? It's a totally different lifestyle. It's a different lifestyle to the 9-to-5 lifestyle. You clock in, you clock out. It's not like this when you want to work for yourself. It's not like this when you want to pursue your dreams most of the time, right? The pursuit of dreams is really different to a lot of people, because a lot of adults, just think about adults around you, in your family, wherever it is, they've most likely lived their life not the way they wanted to when they were a little child, right? They had big aspirations when they were a little child, and they wanted to become an astronaut, they wanted to become a fireman, they wanted to become whatever it is, right? You think of all those things when you're a little child, and you look up to the stars, and you know you can do it, nothing's stopping you. Then adulthood comes around, and rules apply, and social norms apply, and you need to be able to conform to society's views of you in order to fit in. And people unfortunately get into that trap, right? So this episode is all about you changing your life and you stepping out of your comfort zone. That's the most important thing, right? Because I'm assuming that your dream life is very different to what your life looks like right now. You may not be comfortable with where your life is. You may understand that you are destined for more, but you just don't know where to start, right? And I strongly believe that we'll be diving deep into these different areas of your life where we'll really help you define what it is you stand for and the voice required in order to move forward, okay? No matter what your life looks like, you must feel comfortable with change. Now, change is a very difficult thing for a lot of people. A lot of people like to feel comfortable. a lot of, and that's the majority of the population, right? This is like most adults around you, like I said. They've unfortunately grown in a different era as us. That's maybe not unfortunate, but they have grown in a different era as us. They were in the industrial age, where it was normal to go get a job, work until you retire, and then your employers would look after you when you retired. That's the way it was, right? But we're in a totally different age now. We're in the information age, where you are able to back yourself. You are able to feel confident in your own abilities and be able to apply it and impact even more people with what you do and what you love. That's the whole purpose behind it, right? And that's what I'm trying to achieve with my life. And before this change in my life, before this transition in my life, I was a property manager. And it was totally new for me. And change comes in different areas of lives. It just doesn't become, you don't have to change just to become an entrepreneur. You don't have to change just to become a businessman, right? It's all areas of life. A new job, a new partner, a new country that you're living in, right? We've all experienced change, and change defines us by how successful we really will become, right? It's how we rebound back up from change and become even better. So for example, with me, with property management, this was at the start of the year and I thought I'd try something new. I really was into property investing. I haven't invested in property myself, obviously, but I've read about it. I've watched famous podcasts about it. I've followed the industry leaders around property investment, and I thought I'd give it a try as a property manager. That was really new for me. I walked into that job with absolutely no experience in management. I walked into that job with absolutely no experience on talking to the phone, dealing with customers. Before that, I worked at a supermarket stacking shelves, right? This was a totally new experience for me, and I was comfortable with the change, especially when you're young. When you're young, you have the best opportunity to experience risk, to experience change, to try something new, to, like I say, to try everything and anything, right? So I walked into this job absolutely new. I handed my resume in, and it was very lucky that I got the job pretty much the next week. I must have made a good first impression. And I was absolutely shitting bricks on the phone. That phone rang, and every single time that phone rang, I started to form butterflies in my stomach. I actually started like sweating in the first few days because I was that nervous, and it was such a new thing for me. I was in this office with all these people around me that I did not know. I had no connections whatsoever in the industry. Like, it was a totally new experience for me. But I had that right mindset walking into it. I had that mindset where I'm comfortable with change. It may be uncomfortable at the time, but I know that this is necessary in order for me to improve and to get to the next level, right? Unfortunately now, 7 months down the line, they stood me off because of what's going on around the world, unfortunately. And I would have liked to stay there until the end of the year. That was my plan. But again, right, this is a new change. This is an absolutely new change for me, and I'm sure you guys can relate to this so much. You've had unexpected experiences happen in your life when you really did not want it to happen at that time. You're like, oh, it couldn't have come at a better time, right? That's what you thought to yourself. But the best things happen when you least expect it, like I mentioned in my last podcast. The best things happen when you least expect it. The first step is you making the conscious choice to step in another direction. That's literally half the battle. Because once you make that conscious effort to say, okay, enough of this life, I'm going to work towards a new life. I'm going to work towards my dreams. I'm going to back myself because I'm confident in my own abilities. I know I can do this. I believe in myself. That is so important. And if you follow this series now, this is going to be turning into an entire series, Motives. If you follow this series, I'll actually go in depth into believing in yourself and the mindset required around that. This is I should have explained this at the start, and I probably will in the intro, but this is an ongoing series. It's going to happen every single day, and I'll be diving deep into different areas and really making it a systematic approach for you. Something where you can follow along, and after you listen, after you digest, after you consume everything, you can apply it to your life right then and there. That's the most important part, right? Is if you want to change, if you want a new life, you have to be willing to do it now, not tomorrow, right? Get up and do it now. Anyway, the choices you've made in your life thus far have led you to this exact point. Now think about it like that, right? Every single choice you've made in your life, it's led you to this exact same point. To the point where you're listening to this podcast right now, whatever it is. Personally, I wouldn't change a thing in my past because it's led me to the point where I am right now. It's developed me into the person I am right now with this strong mindset and willing to do whatever it takes to succeed. Right? If you would like to stay in the same position you are in right now, 5 years down the line, you may be listening to the wrong podcast. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I really want to motivate people that are wanting to change their lives. If you want to stay comfortable and if you want to do your own thing, so be it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but that's not my audience. That's not the person I want to impact. I want to impact someone that's self-motivated but just needs a little bit of external motivation to pump them up and to get them to that next level, right? I want to be able to help that person pursue their dreams, pursue the thoughts in their mind, and do whatever it takes, right? This podcast empowers young, achieving individuals to find their voice and pursue their dreams. That's the whole purpose of this entire series that I'm doing. That's the whole purpose of this podcast, and I hope it at least impacts one person to be comfortable with change from this episode. I just want you to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's it, right? Be comfortable with feeling out of place. Be comfortable with being alone sometimes, because the pursuit to your dreams is sometimes a very lonely path. And I'm speaking from personal experience. Not a lot of people around me understand why I do this. So you have to be comfortable with that. And that involves a lot of change to occur in your life, right? In order to pursue your dreams, you have to be willing to change. Because like I said before, every single choice you've made in your life thus far have led you to the point where you are now. So if you want to stay there, then keep doing the things you're doing. But if you don't want to stay there, start to think outside the circle and do things that are different. Challenge yourself. Be a bit different from the people around you. If you don't feel motivated with the people around you, stay away from them. And again, that's another point that I'm going to be addressing in another podcast episode, is to disassociate yourself from those people. Right? Motives. This involves a lot of discomfort, and you must be willing to feel comfortable with that. Whatever it is that's on your plate, whatever life that you want to live, whether it be just living a normal life with having a side hustle on the side, with starting your own business, with backing yourself, becoming a dancer, whatever it is, it's going to involve a lot of discomfort. And like I said before, the ones that are successful in life, the ones that are massively successful, doesn't matter about fame, fortune, whatever it is, they're just successful in their own lives, whether it be happiness, have all felt discomfort once in their life. And the ones that make it and the ones that don't, their ability to rebound from change and become an even better person is paramount. It's different to everyone else. That's what you have to focus on today, guys. Be willing to feel uncomfortable with change. Motives, thank you so much for listening to the very end. Be sure to check us out tomorrow, because then we speak about how to please everyone. Nah, I'm kidding, guys, I'm kidding. That's the key to failure, is trying to please everyone. That's what we go in depth in tomorrow. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening to it, on iTunes, on Google Podcasts, on Spotify. We're pretty much everywhere now, which is great to see. Thank you so much for staying motives. Have a great day. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.